Depois dos candidatos à direção geral do FMI, outro figurão internacional veio fazer campanha no Brasil. O secretário-geral da ONU veio pedir o apoio da presidente Dilma Rousseff para o segundo mandato à frente das Nações Unidas. A Assembleia Geral deve reeleger Ban Ki-moon na próxima terça-feira. E entre um compromisso e outro, que foram muitos, aqui na capital, o secretário-geral deu uma entrevista exclusiva ao Jornal das 10. Falou com entusiasmo a repórter Cristina Serra sobre a importância da conferência Rio+20, mas foi menos enfático ao comentar a principal demanda brasileira nas Nações Unidas, a reforma do Conselho de Segurança.
First of all, welcome to Jornal das 10 and GloboNews. It's an honor to have you here. And I would like to start asking you about Rio+20. One of the reasons why you are here is to talk about the conference, the preparations for the conference, and I'd like to know your expectation about this conference.
Rio+20 meeting will be historically important for the humanity, for this planet Earth. In 1992, 20 years ago, in Rio de Janeiro, world leaders have set out the grand design for sustainable development. But we have to do much, much more. People just have focused on only development without considering the impact and consequences which we are now experiencing. So we have to realize the sustainable world by addressing climate change, water scarcity, energy shortages, and food crisis.
Is this your main challenge for your second term?
Of course, in addressing sustainable development, climate change will be always a top priority, and gender empowerment is another priority. We have achieved some progress, and we have seen some good examples. Brazil is clear example, best example where a woman leader is now working as a president of this great country. Mm-hmm. We have to see more and more women leaders taking decision-making positions, including leader, president, prime minister, ministers, or in other business sectors.
Mr. Secretary-General, we have another very sensitive issue nowadays, that is the situation in the Arab countries, especially Syria. And this week, the United Nations released a report talking about the extreme violation of human rights there. I'd like to ask you, what can be done to stop this violence against civilians in Syria? What kind of international pressure can be done to stop the situation there?
Together with the situation in Libya, the situation in Syria has become one of the most serious concern points. I have been stressing the importance of inclusive dialogue and trying to stop to kill the civilian people. And I have spoken to President Assad to allow the visit of human rights assessment teams. I have also urged him to allow the visit of humanitarian assessment teams. In the course of these demonstrations and governments addressing these peaceful demonstrators, there are many people who are urgently in need of humanitarian assistance. I'm very disturbed that these two important requests have not yet been allowed by Syrian authorities. I'm urging him again to do it. At the same time, he must engage in dialogue and take bold measures and decisive measures before it is too late. So there's a huge violation of human rights and international humanitarian law.
And how about the case of Libya? One of the sons of Gaddafi yesterday made a proposition to hold elections until the end of this year. Do you think this is a viable alternative to the situation there to stop the civil war and to restore stability in Libya?
I have not yet received any proposals in detail I'm going to speak with the Prime Minister of Libya soon, and I will discuss with him more in detail how we can work out in this matter. In fact, my special envoy, Mr. Al-Khatib, has been visiting Libya many times already, and I have been speaking with, first time with Colonel Gaddafi, then Prime Minister, many occasions. What United Nations has been urging them is there should be an unconditional, verifiable, immediate ceasefire so that the United Nations and international community can expand this humanitarian assistance. And we are ready to engage in political dialogue. That is what I have been doing. Unfortunately, Libyan government has not shown any sincerity. Whatever they have been saying has not been verified, and that is one of the points of frustrations. And I'm going to discuss this matter again.
Mr. Secretary, in your second term, do you think it will be political conditions to go ahead with the Brazilian proposition to make changes in the Security Council?
The member states of the United Nations have been accelerating their negotiation on the issue of reforming the Security Council. I know that Brazil is one of the few aspirant countries to serve more and in a stronger way. There is a text now being discussed and negotiated. This negotiation has started since last 3 years, and most recently since last March. There is widely shared views among member states that considering such significant changes in international political scenes, Security Council should be reformed, adjusting to the changing world on the basis of wills of the member states in a more transparent, more representative manner. This is what I believe, and as a Secretary General, I'll try to facilitate all this negotiation process.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary General.
Muito obrigado.
Obrigada.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.